When I first started publishing on Amazon KDP, I actually had no idea about copyright to the extent that I do now. In this video, this is for self-publishers. This is for anyone that's book curious. In this video, we're going to talk about some things that you need to know before you go ahead and apply for copyright. My name is Jenny Hansen-Lane. I've published over 600 books. I've made over $135,000 in book profits. Some of you have asked me what my ad spend was. It's about $25K, and we just crossed $135K. So it's super fun, and I really love it. But you have seen the ups and downs on this channel. You have seen books getting blocked. You have seen copyright strikes from international self-publishers that actually went after more than one of us because we talk behind the scenes, which is crazy. And that story will come to light soon. So in this video, we're talking about some of the things that you need to know about copyright. And if you are in the sound of my voice and you are just doing journals and planners, I don't want you to get discouraged about copyright, because there is this fine line of like, the coolest thing about Kindle Direct Publishing is that you can sign up for an account for free. So it becomes very attractive as a low risk bootstrapping passive income, right? And so we come with that mindset of like, oh, there really isn't anything that I need to do. I literally can sign up for a free Canva account and I can get started. But it gets more complex. And as we make money, we actually want to protect our stuff. And so we have to actually reinvest into our books to be able to do that. And there's a lot of different reasons why we need to not pay, we need to, not ignore copyright. And that is because we can lose money, right? So in previous videos, you have seen that I have actually been in disputes with Amazon, with other people about copyright. And just the disclaimer that should have been said in second one, I'm not an attorney, okay? And you guys are so quick to correct me when needed, and I think that's great. I think a place where rising tide can raise all the boats is great. And I talk to my Evan Almighty, I talk to my trademark copyright person a lot. And some of the things that he has helped me understand, which he's given me permission to share everything that he's taught me with you guys on this channel, is that we can't just slap stuff up and expect copyright either, okay? So I wanted just to share an example of this that to make sure that you're being safe. We've got a lot of questions about Canva licensing and Kittl licensing. And I know Canva, I can speak to Canva because I've read it multiple times, is they do actually extend the copyright release. Now here's the tricky part, okay? They tell us you have permission to make money from what you build in Canva, okay? There are exceptions. So inside of Canva, there are two different categories that they list. And actually, before we do that arrow, we need to talk about elements, okay? Elements can be described as anything, really. Motifs, images, okay? The only exception we don't have to worry about in Canva is lines and shapes, okay? So inside of here, there's two different routes for Canva images and just Canva elements, right? Okay, there is free and there is pro. And so the difference here is that third-party artists upload their work to Canva, and every time that we use the export button in Canva, these third-party artists are compensated. Now, I don't know the compensation structure completely because I am not a contributing artist in that way. I am a user front-facing type of person, okay? So that is all I can speak to on that at this time. We've had students in our community that are third-party artists. We have people on this channel that will comment and let us know, okay, when they have done that. So there is two different things. So an image could be a pro element. An image could be a free element, okay? Now, when it comes to copyright, a lot of people don't know this and then they copyright later, is right now in the US Copyright Office, there are works that are written and they are passing copyright. They're receiving a registration for their work, okay? I'm going to go through this process with you guys, as I've mentioned previously. This will be more like documenting the journey so you have a clear idea of like what I've done, ins and outs, and actually answer this for me should I be sharing every detail about this process when it comes to my pen names and my niches to do this, right? Because I am protecting it. So I might be giving away profitable niches, but my work is getting protected by US copyright. Something else that I learned about US copyright is that when you have the registration, let's say you had a coloring book line and it exploded on Amazon and you wanted to save on costs, so you started getting them shipped in China, and even with the tariff price, you were profitable. When you have a registration, that means anyone that's like copying you, the US custom borders can take pirated stuff. So that's really, really powerful element of copyright, okay? So we know right now the Copyright Office is letting people do this. And there is, I would say, images. There's a lot of disputation right now in the Copyright Office. I've read this online in news media. I've heard this from my own attorney, and I haven't done this yet. So my goal in pursuing copyright, sometimes you think maybe I shouldn't even pursue copyright because everything that I'm using is AI. Like, if that's the case, if you have a book that has, like, it's an AI cover, right? And the inside, what's that book even about? Flowers. And the inside is also AI. There's only certain parts that you can actually claim copyright over. So there are many of you that are like, yeah, I just want to make the money. And that is fine. You just don't have the additional protection, right? So let's go back to actual Canva elements and talk about what you need to know before you actually apply for copyright. And the reason why this is important is because this is a book creation conversation. And a lot of people don't have this conversation. They will make a coloring book, and their coloring book will have, pages in it, and they will take free elements from Canva and make a coloring book. Let's say that these are the shapes, and they will try to copyright that. That will not pass copyright, okay? You have to do it with your own finger, or you need to create something brand new. So that is why we can't copyright line journals. Like, they're so widespread. They've been around forever. Name that movie. In that movie, the swimming pool where Squints goes in, that was my town swimming pool. Okay, so here's what we do. Here's what we need to know before copyright. Okay, we have our page, and we've used a Canva Pro element. Okay, and it's a heart. For me to get that passed for copyright, there has to be more to it. So right now, as of 40 days ago, you cannot export a Pro element from Canva all by itself, which I think is a great stance for Canva to start protecting their content more, okay? So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to come in here and I'm going to have to create my own design, okay? And I'm going to have to make something different that didn't exist before, okay? Because I want to prove that this is like my own authorship. That's the whole reason that we have the Copyright Office. Is back in the day, people were not willing to share things because of piracy, okay? I know that's not spelled correctly. Okay, so it is important to understand that we should be able to do things under the law that protect us, okay? And so that is the whole reason, why the Copyright Office exists, okay? And so you need to create things that are original, okay? I want you to think about, what can you do to make something different? Because I would hate for you to get at the application process and not be able to pass it through because all you did is went into Canva and picked all the free elements and made a coloring book. That actually might even be disappointing content to Amazon too, okay? The other thing we want to think about here is we want our application submitted before it's live. Okay. Now, do we live in a perfect world? No, we don't. Right? That's why we're here, to learn and grow. Ideally, you want to have something in the works before you hit submit. And some of the reasons for that, I am still learning around copyright, and copyright can be applied to unpublished works. So even you get everything uploaded in your account, you get this paperwork back, and then you hit submit. Okay. I don't know all the details because I'm going to go through it. I'm going to document the journey. Okay. So here's the question I have for you. Is there anything that I should not disclose when doing this? I am fine to share. I didn't even mean to write a. I'm fine to share XYZ on copyright. Okay. What I want to figure out is how much to share. Maybe I need to do it and then come back and say, okay, my pen name's protected. Here it is. You can see it. It's live. Because if I'm going to put money behind this before it's live, I want it to make money too. Okay. So all of you, tell me what is the best solution for this. Okay. So the biggest point of this video, and thank you for watching it this far, is that we need to create original work, and it needs to be unique enough that it will pass registration, and that these are things we should think about before we publish. Now, I have a free training coming up, and we talk a lot about building an income stream, right? Because I wouldn't be this hyper focused on copyright if I hadn't have made a bunch of money from it. And if you talk to a copyright attorney, they might think that's a little bit backwards. But I don't ever want this to be the reason that you don't start. There's a lot of people they think that they have to go through this process to start. And the blessing, if you're in the United States, of publishing is like when you draw something, you own copyright immediately. Registration is just secondarily for that. Okay. It's another layer of protection that allows you to even license your work and have pirates taken down, right? So let me know what questions you have. I'll drop a link for the free training. I would love to meet you. These are always really fun. This channel covers a lot about Amazon ads, about pen names, about copyright, and just the strategies that I use as an active publisher. I'm kind of sick of saying I've published 611 books, so I need to set a goal to publish more. So hopefully by the time you see this video, you're like, oh yeah, she blew through that number, okay? I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.